Hello, guys, and welcome back. It's good to see Arendt and Elliot again. Uh, Today, I'll be your host, Kiri. We've got a great show for you today, and we're going to be talking about all things Ronaldo. Obviously, it happened a few days ago, but obviously, you haven't heard from us, and we've got a lot to say on it. We've got Arendt and Elliot picking sides because they're both passionate about Ronaldo, but on different opinions. So,
Viva
Elliot,
Ronaldo.
what did you say? Sorry, huh?
Viva Ronaldo. That's my side.
All right, so go on, start us off. What do you think?
Well, I mean, obviously, he's always been my favorite player. He always will be. Um, and I do think it's best for both parties that he left. And I do agree that I don't agree we play better with him. I don't think he's had a chance this season, really. But um, I think the whole thing about the whole Glazers now putting the club up for sale and all this drama is all because of Ronaldo. So I'll always pick his side. Always will.
And Arnth, go on, mate. Do you agree, disagree? I don't think you're going to agree.
He agrees.
Nah, man. What Ronaldo did with that interview, man, I lost ratings. Like I've lost ratings for him. Like I know many United fans still view him as a legend, and I guess over time I probably will eventually. But in the moment now, like I yeah, I find it hard to respect the guy after what he done. I think he was out of order. Uh,
What did he do? What did he do though? What did he do wrong?
You know what you done wrong, Elliot. Like you
What
can't
did he
publicly call out the manager like that. Oh, what's your contracted at the football club? Like that's so unprofessional. Like saying he doesn't respect the manager. I know loads of people are saying he made valid points about the club and the Glazers, and I'm not disputing that. But I also think that was kind of done as a sort of tool, a manipulation sort of tool to sort of divert attention away from the savage comments he made about the team and particularly the manager. I mean, the manager thing's the thing that pissed me off the most. Like, yeah,
Yeah, but it's not like for me. It's not like Bruno doing it or Anthony doing it or Rashford doing it. This. Like it is Cristiano Ronaldo, and I don't care about this whole thing. Oh, everyone should be treated the same. It's not true. Like Ronaldo is a different breed. He's the best player of all time, greatest goal scorer of all time, and he's saying, "Hold up a second, why the hell am I not playing? I score once every 2 games. No one else in the whole squad does. So why am I not playing?" And he's saying Ten Hag kept him in the summer, even though he wanted to leave, saying he's going to play games, and then he doesn't. So that's my. I think that's Ronaldo's argument, and that's why I kind of agree with them. Why did we not let him leave in the summer and avoid this whole mess?
there's a lot to say about what you've just said. Firstly, the guy doesn't even score 1 in 2 games anymore. He scores like 1 in every 5 games. Second,
Oh,
secondly, in terms of it's Cristiano Ronaldo, so he can do sort of what he wants. Well, no. At the end of the day, there's a line which stays the same for all professional footballers, and you don't cross that. And he's crossed it multiple times. Firstly, with the Spurs incident, I refused to come on, and now this. And I think it's the accumulation of events which has really pissed me off. Like, if it was one of the two, maybe I could be like, but I think it makes it even worse that it's just just another thing, like just piling on the mess he's created. And you know, if he had done this interview, even if it was a couple of months after he had left the club, I wouldn't have a major issue with it. I don't even think I'd have a genuine issue with it. I might disagree with his point, but I wouldn't be annoyed because he's not at the club. But whilst you're at the club, you just don't do that. I don't care if you're Ronaldo or Lee Grant, like you just don't do that. It's just it's so disrespectful. And
Yeah,
respect goes
but
for
he
every
had
player.
to do
It
it.
doesn't matter how good or bad you are. Like you just don't do that to your manager. Like he's your
He
manager.
had to. He had to do it for him, otherwise he wasn't going to get out of the club.
I don't know about he had to do it for him. Obviously, he's done it with the purpose of knowing that he'll leave the club as a result. But like, I feel like his exit could have been done in a much better way. Like it could have just been
Well,
a lot
in
less
that
nasty.
case, but in that case, we should have let him leave in the summer. And like, I don't want people to think that I'd ever choose Ronaldo over Man United because I wouldn't. But
Are you sure about
I would.
that?
I wouldn't. I would. Like, trust me,
um,
I wouldn't.
what,
Here's the
what,
question.
what?
Here's the
Go
question.
on.
What do you? Whose side do you take, Kiri? Whose side do you take?
Okay, so his contract was terminated by mutual agreement with immediate effect. calling to Manchester United. So Ronaldo is the first Manchester United player to have his contract terminated midway through a season since Roy Keane in November 2005. That's a long time. And Roy Keane said himself that everyone's praising Ten Hag. Oh, he managed it well. I mean, he didn't really manage it well because one, Ronaldo wanted to leave, right? And Ronaldo was promised game time. Fair enough. Ronaldo's got a point in the sense that he was promised one thing and he got something else. I wouldn't dispute it. And I think Ten Hag knew that, and the club knew that. Anyone above Ten Hag in the hierarchy knew that. The only thing is, he didn't warrant the minutes that he was promised. In another reason is because he just wasn't good enough. Those Europa League games he played, he scored a couple goals, maybe, but also he didn't finish a lot of chances. How many times did the commentator go, maybe Ronaldo in his prime probably would have finished that, but maybe not now. Maybe his age is finally catching up with him. And how many times, when Ronaldo missed a chance or like he fluffed it and then the camera zooms in on his facial expression and he looks like, should have put that away. That happened a few times, not even in the Europa League, in the Premier League as well, when players were injured and he had to cover.
But he wasn't starting in the Premier League, and he plays Europa League games. He's thrown into the Europa League.
But yes, at the start of the season, and as the season went on, yes, you're right. But towards the end of the season, especially Everton's, the Aston Villa games, he did play.
He's played 13 games this season, and half of them he came off the bench.
Stats can be manipulated, but I can't lie. He has had his chances in the Premier League, and he's done F4. Like, other than the Everton goal, which was a decent finish, he's literally done.
He's played most of the Europa League games, and he's hardly looked like the same he was last season. I mean, you could argue like maybe a player, if he's given enough minutes, that he'll get a run and get some form back. The only thing is, it's the Premier League. We can't afford to drop points. Ten Hag's literally playing for his job every game because someone expects him to get top 4.
Yeah, but we're not 4. Like, I think the chances
one game off.
Don't finish 4. Yeah, but I just don't like who's going to replace Ronaldo in that team. Martial's injured.
Martial.
Yeah, but he's injured every week.
Rashford's actually performed in certain games this season.
Yeah, but you can't rely on Rashford to get you top
long term. No, but this is where
Rashford, don't get me wrong. I think he should be a starter. He should be on the wing, and he's again one of my favourite players. His redemption arc this season's been epic, but he's not going to get you top 4. Or I'm not saying Ronaldo's going to lead us to a title, but you've got rid of 20 goals like that.
Here's the thing. Sorry, I just need to say this whole got rid of 20 goals and Ronaldo last season. That was last season. Like, football moves on. Like, his drop off has been huge, and he's been given enough chances there's been enough evidence of it. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's not like he hasn't started any Premier League games. It's not like he hasn't started any Europa League games. He scored 3 goals. One was a tap in, or a rebound, and the other was a penalty. Like, he's been so off it. Like, there's something in football called the eye test, and he's failed the eye test emphatically this season. Like, I saw one game against West Ham. He looked so like sluggish, like in terms of he got given a few half chances. I think there was one in particular, and he just skied it over. And okay, it's not just one chance. Players can have those moments, but I feel like whenever I see him, he just looks so off the pace, and it's understandable. He's 38 years old. Of course, I'm not begrudging him or anything like that in that sense. Like, fair enough. Like, you're allowed to have a decline. Of course, it's remarkable that he's done what he's done, but like, I think people just need to accept he's not the same player anymore. And it's not even just not the same player. Like, his fall has been quite big in my opinion.
But you guys,
I'm going to add to Aaron's point there very quickly. Now, decline I can accept. Not being given a run of games, even though, like, if he was given a run of games, you never know what could have happened, sort of thing, I accept. But also, one thing I don't accept is petulance. And we saw a lot of that from Ronaldo. First things first, Bruno probably had the worst season he's ever had professionally with Ronaldo in the team. And I think it is true that Ronaldo has changed the way United played. He's scoring goals, and the simple thing is Ronaldo scores goals at the end of it, but it came at a price, and it's the way we play tactically. When Ten Hag decided to change it and Ronaldo didn't get any games, fair enough. Like, best player in the world, one of the best players in the world, do you keep on the bench? No. Did Ten Hag given false promise? Yes, but also it didn't justify the fact that Ronaldo acted with petulance. He sacrificed the reputation of the club, went in on the owners, and the owners have now decided to sell the club. Fair enough, it's a great thing, but also he's tarnished the reputation of other players in the squad at the cost of our young players. I mean, was it right? Maybe, but should it have been done? No. He's under a professional contract and he's crossed the line many times. He walked off early on, got punished for it. And what's even worse is, let's just say Ronaldo stayed. It's just come out, according to James Ducker of the Telegraph, he's been banned by the FA for 2 games, and he's been fined £50,000 for knocking the phone out of the fan's hand at the Everton game back in April. So even if he did decide to stay, he wouldn't have played 2 more games.
What I like, guys, I would say, and I don't like, this is my point. So Ralph Rangnick, in a press conference, basically called out the Glazers, said we need 10 new players. Pogba, not directly again called out the Glazers. Even Zlatan Ibrahimovic, bloody Skulls. You've got Gary Neville does it Roy Keane every single week. But as soon as Ronaldo does it, everyone calls him a villain. Even though the day after the Glazers put the club up for sale. It's no coincidence that that's happened. And as soon as that happens, Manchester United's stock is rose by 16%.
Also, I'm going to say 2 things to that. First, yes, the Glazers decided to sell the club a day or 2 after. But the thing is, I think they were gonna. This wasn't just a knee-jerk reaction to the interview. I think they were already going to sell it either way. They probably planned it months in advance. And normally, a company or family like the Glazers, they don't normally sell unless they've got a buyer lined up. And I think that's what's going to happen.
So
and secondly, stocks change all the time and react to certain news, and like the stocks will go up, but I think they'll probably go back down as well.
We'll go back down again.
Stocks subsidize sometimes over a certain period.
But you think if Ronaldo didn't do that interview, the Glazers would have announced yesterday that they were selling the club?
I think it did play a part. I'm not going to lie, it did play a part.
It did play a part.
I guess I don't know if we'll ever know how much of a part or lack of part it played, but from what I've seen, it looks like I think the sponsors, TeamViewer, I think they were already in a bit of trouble.
No.
There were issues. To
clarify, TeamViewer already were going to pull out before the Ronaldo interview because one of their investors or chairman suggested that they pull out due to the economic climate.
Yeah, there we go. So I don't think it's because of the Ronaldo thing. That's my opinion. I think it was already going to happen.
I just think sometimes people go about things maybe the wrong way, and I'm not saying what Ronaldo did, the interview with Piers Morgan in a 2-part interview, which was on YouTube, Sky, other channels, all around the world. That wasn't probably the best way to do it, but he just thought to himself, there's no other way to firstly get out the club and secondly expose what's going on in the club. For example, the gyms and the jacuzzis and the iPads are the same from 2009, and the food's the same, and the changing room's the same, the stadium leaks. And we all knew it, but no one as big as Ronaldo called it out, was actually playing in the team in that moment. All the people that called it out before were ex-players or the manager before Ralph Rangnick gets fired after,
I'm going to make a few points about what you said, Elliot. Firstly, I kind of mentioned it earlier. I do think that Ronaldo mentioning that was manipulation. I think Ronaldo has obviously done this interview not with the primary aim of calling out the Glazers or the club. I honestly think it's just that he's just thrown his toys out the pram again. And I think he's using these quotes and these lines that he's saying about the Glazers as like a sort of distraction. I genuinely wouldn't put it past his thinking for that to be the case. Also, you made a point before how Rangnick called out the Glazers and other people, and they didn't get villainized or something. Ronaldo's not getting villainized for that at all. He's getting villainized for what we've already mentioned, this talking about the manager in such a way, etc. So I think there's 2 separate points. I think people often fail to distinguish between him calling out the Glazers and him going in on the manager, etc. They're 2 separate things.
It all comes into one, though.
How?
Well, the fact that the Glazers have never spoken to Erik ten Hag and they've never spoken to Cristiano Ronaldo.
What's the relevance?
That's my point.
In what? Yeah, okay.
Well,
What in relation to that? What does that mean in relation to?
Everyone's saying Ten Hag's a hero. He's never come out and said, "Oh, I don't think the ownership's been too good."
He can't do that.
My issue with Ronaldo coming out is he's having a go at Ten Hag and he's having a go at young players. And he's like, if he just came out and had a go at the Glazers and the equipment, gym equipment, spa facilities, whatever, stadium, academy, like, yeah, if he had a go at the facilities and the Glazers, I wouldn't have minded. But the fact that he's come after Ten Hag and the squad, it's not nice, given that you're a fellow player who you're sharing the same dressing room with. It's just not nice to have a go at your teammates.
It's not necessarily nice, but it's true. Like, the young players of Man United at the moment aren't as hungry and as ambitious as they were in Ronaldo's day.
You know when Roy Keane had a tussle with Gary Neville on Sky Sports about having a go at Ronaldo, and you could see that that class, or they don't have a go at each other because they share the same dressing room. There's like this ongoing dressing room code where they don't have a go at each other. That's mutual respect, right? That's why Gary Neville never went in on Ole, and these lot kind of respect each other, and that's another reason why Ronaldo came at Gary Neville and Wayne Rooney in the interview with Piers Morgan, because they came out and had a go at him when normally there's like, I don't know, it's just not really talked about nowadays, is it? Like a dressing room code where you don't talk about your teammates in the media. And I think Ronaldo's just gone back on that and just talked about his current teammates.
He never named anybody, though.
That's true. I mean, he indirectly did.
He did that by naming the players who are actually professional, which isn't good. Yeah. Just don't name anyone.
Yeah. So unnecessary, so toxic. Like, of course, that's what good is that going to do for the morale of the club? They're trying to move forward under Ten Hag. He's a new manager. He's trying to bring his own identity and culture and vision to the club. Like, why do you need this toxic sort of rubbish? I'm sorry, like, nah.
Like, I will agree with you in one aspect. That I think Ten Hag's come out of it a lot better than where he was before, which I think he's actually a stronger person in the dressing room now, that players know they can't mess him around and stay at the club.
Yeah, I love that.
And obviously, like, he probably wanted Ronaldo to go in the summer. There's no way, he probably told Ronaldo, you'll play this, you'll play that, but he never wanted Ronaldo. It's not part of his plans, is it? It's nothing to do with his play style.
Once this Ronaldo storm goes, a lot of players, and especially Ten Hag, a lot of players are going to benefit from this. And you're going to see it mentally, emotionally, and also physically on the pitch. Mm-hmm. And one player I think will benefit most from it is Bruno.
I agree. Definitely. I mean, you've seen the stats with Bruno. Sorry, you've seen the stats with Bruno, like before Ronaldo and since Ronaldo, and the change is huge. So yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
But we need to sign. This is a question for you both. So, if the Glazers are 100% selling the club, that's obviously not something that happens overnight or in 2 weeks or in a month. That's going to be next summer.
You never know. We've got this far in the last 2 weeks. A lot's happened.
Do they invest 60 million, 50 million, 40 million in January to sign a striker? We know it was confirmed on Sky Sports, BBC, Athletic earlier that they're trying to find a striker in January now. So do they go, we'll just loan someone and palm that off to the next owner, or do they invest? It's a difficult question. They probably won't want to buy anybody for 50 million if they know they're selling the club.
What we've learned is if they've taken Ronaldo off the books, that's 10% off the wages alone, and most likely we haven't paid him the 13 million that we owe him for the rest of his contract. If that's the case, we've got some money to spend. I have a feeling we need to get a loan. I think we need like a Gallo style signing till the end of the season, and then no, I'm being serious. Genuinely, we need like a stopgap solution until the end of the season, because we won't get anyone particularly great now, because like clubs are so, like, some clubs are doing well with the players that we need to sign, like Osimhen, like he's doing well at his club. And I don't think they're going to let him go now mid-season in Jan.
Yeah, and then the Champions League as well.
He wouldn't be able to play for us in the Europa League anyway, would he? I don't know.
I think that rule's changed. I can't lie.
Okay.
I think it has, but either way.
Yeah, no one's going to sell their star man in January.
There's rumors of João Felix coming on loan, but why would they sell him? Like, no way he's going to come to us on loan. unless
Also,
that's money that we don't need to spend now. We just need to get a stopgap. Someone not so big, but someone who can do the job. And like Agallo did a job for a bit before he got injured, and he was only meant to come in for half a season, and for fair enough, he actually did it.
Yeah, Ghana's a funny one. I mean, I kind of thought he did a job, but then I realized he didn't even score in the Premier League. But then I don't think he got.
No, but he wasn't played that much in the Premier League. I don't think.
He wasn't.
That's true. He wasn't. I think Martial came back and then it did his thing. To be fair, so that's true. I was going to ask you, Kiri. Fair enough. You mentioned like a stopgap striker. Who do you recommend then? Who's out there who fit that billing?
When I saw Osimhen for the first time this season, and I went back and I had a look at his Despacito sounded YouTube highlights packages, he's actually like pretty decent. Like what caught my eye was his press, like his physical ability while he's pressing. It's going to be super important for like Ten Hag's system, where we press high up top, and obviously no division. But sorry, Elliot. But Osimhen's the kind of player that would really suit Ten Hag's system.
Yeah. And he's in brilliant form as well for Napoli. And I think he's still relatively young as well.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and also
I don't think
he's physically a beast. He's tall, quick.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely. Yeah.
If I had to wait until the summer to get him, I'd rather wait than get him now in Jan.
Yeah. It all comes down to Martial's availability, because I'm more than happy. I said at the start of the season, I'm more than happy for Martial to leave the line. I think he's the right guy. It's just his injury.
Nah, Martial's had more injuries than he's played games for United, probably.
He could have been so good as well.
Yeah. One question I want to ask you guys. I mean, I guess different people. I think most people probably have one opinion towards this, but do you think how much of Ronaldo's legacy at United do you think has been tarnished from this little saga, if at all?
Go on, Kira.
I can't lie. If the Glazers didn't sell the club, then it probably would have. If nothing came of it after, but the fact that the Glazers sold made a difference. But the fact that if they didn't, I think Ronaldo would have come off looking a whole lot worse. He has tarnished his legacy. The answer is yes, but it has done some good in a way, and I'm happy that he's gone, because it's an amicable marriage. Separation. They were going to part ways anyway. It's not a happy divorce, but at the end of the day, it needed to happen just for the sake of both sides.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think for the next few years it will be difficult. I think if Ronaldo went back in 10 years, in the stands, he's never going to get booed at Old Trafford. But I think for the next couple of years it will be a bit of I don't know, like, will he go and talk to Ferguson? Like, we don't know what happens behind the scenes.
Oh, he still complimented Fergie in the interview, so he'll be around. Give it a few months. I'm just waiting to see Ollie back at Old Trafford.
It's not quite the same on that level, but when David Beckham betrayed us and went to Madrid, 5 years later, people forget things. And
that's what I think. That's my opinion. I don't think his legacy is permanently tarnished like that. I think in the coming year, maybe 6 months to a year, also, yeah, but I think I don't think that many people are going to hold on to this like that. I think for me personally, the reason why I wouldn't say my view of him at United hasn't fully been tarnished, because I differentiate his two spells. I think the fact, if this came in his only spell at United, I think I would find it harder to argue that his legacy.
This felt more like a retirement tour than anything. This felt like,
you know what I mean? I view his. I'm still looking at first spell in complete isolation to his second spell. I think that's why for me, I still think deep inside I view him as a for what he's done on the football pitch as a legend. Obviously, as a person, I find it hard to respect him. I guess for the time being, at least, for what he's done. But like I said, I think, and if you ask me in a few years' time, I'm not going to be I hate Ronaldo. I do think people forget things easily in football as well.
The one thing he did say was in the interview and the statement was, "I will always love the fans." So it's nothing to do with the fans. You know, it's not like he's not going to ever talk to
Oh,
Man.
he just used it as a bit, man.
Yeah, yeah,
He was
yeah. He did that a
amazing.
lot, Elliot. You fall into the trap.
No, he does care about Man United fans. Otherwise, he wouldn't have come back.
He wouldn't have done that interview. He cared like that. I don't know.
All I'm going to say is he
Never
cares
have
about.
come back. He would have gone to Man City or Chelsea.
I'm going to say something. I don't know if you'll agree or disagree, but out of us, Ten Hag, the club itself, other clubs he's played for, more than anything, more than all of them put together, I think he loves himself more.
Oh, 100%.
Maybe so. Maybe so, but that doesn't say he doesn't. If he didn't care about the Man United fans, why would he come back to us when we were nowhere near Man City? And Man City were the ones who offered him the first contract. He could have gone to PSG.
Fergie and Evra chatted to him. That's why they convinced him. They persuaded him.
Yeah.
Hotline bling, Fergie, man, take a bow.
Fergie's taking us back. It's another debate. I'm joking.
Just a quick one. What we are going to do is we're going to release a video soon on who we think would probably take the number 7 shirt. But just quick shout out. Who do you guys think?
Anthony.
Anthony. All right. Aaron.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm tempted to say Rashford, but I might. Yeah, maybe Anthony.
Yeah, I'm going with Garnacho. But yeah, so
that is a shout.
It is daring, and yeah, but
or we sign something.
Depends. Hopefully, hopefully not. Hopefully, get a striker in a number 9.
Needed.
Right. So, Elliot, thank you very much. It's a pleasure listening to you put up the last defense of Ronaldo.
It's like a wall. There's like a wall that's like getting like permanently battered down. I'm just trying to hold it back up.
No, my God.
You did a decent.
I mean, like the Man United defense over the past 10 years.
Maguire.
Yeah. There's a reason why you've got a Rooney shirt up there and not Ronaldo.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah, but this is because it's signed. You see, I haven't got a signed Ronaldo shirt. Otherwise, I could replace it.
See, Rooney would sign it. Ronaldo wouldn't.
Oof. Okay, it's too much. Okay, guys, we've got a lot more content for you. Okay, guys, we've got a lot more content coming for you guys. Stay tuned. We've got a lot of videos, and make sure you subscribe. And yeah, we'll catch you soon.